Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Fresh off a fabulous weekend up in the Washington, D.C. area at my good friend Jimmy's and his fabulous restaurant, Jimmy's Old Town Tavern. A huge thank you to everybody that showed up and joined us at Jimmy's over the weekend. What a great time it was. So wonderful. I had so many great moments with my kid and my kid. To see my daughter, Elizabeth, and my son at Jimmy's, it was just the bomb. And, you know, it was fantastic, our Derby party. And for those of you that had so many kind things to say, it never gets
old, does it?
To hear people say, I was going through this, I was going through that. And it's just great. So today we have Josh, who's still up in D.C., outside of D.C. in Leesburg, Virginia.
Yay, Josh! Welcome.
Domicile of Rob Spiewak. You're now you're staying in what part of the world? Are you staying in Northern Virginia? So it was.
Yes, I was staying at Jimmy's Hotel.
Oh, the Jimmy's Hotel, the Holiday Inn down the street still.
Cerrito Arms.
Correct.
What it is, yeah.
Down the road. So not too bad, right? Going against traffic to get out to Rob's.
Minutes?
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No problem at all with traffic.
It normally takes longer for me to get home from Jimmy's, especially about 3 years ago. But now it's a much easier drive.
I have determined that the last time I was in Jimmy's restaurant, I was a vastly more voracious consumer of Jimmy's products, his food and his drink, than I am now with the. And I believe I will give it all the credit to modern medicine, because that's just my memories of all of it. And I'm including Jimmy's, I'm including Manassas, are food memories.
Yeah,
and I still had. I was able to relive two food memories when Carl and I were running errands out and about. Jimmy was so generous that Josh stayed at the Jimmy Arms. I stayed at the Cerrito Bed and Breakfast.
Yes.
And I don't do that. I'm just not somebody that ever wants to, impose on people.
I wanted to ask you about that.
And be like that. And Jimmy... you know Rob forever. Jimmy and I have road trip together. I didn't road trip with anybody before Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy is just a chill dude, and
the best.
And Jimmy and I can chill, and he just knows how to, do it. And his wife is as chill as they come.
Oh,
absolutely.
I know.
Yeah.
My wife is the fastest person I've ever met to try to get invited to someone's house out of town, and it drives me nuts. Because even if they're like really, really okay with it, and you know them really,
she's a
really
people
well,
person, is what she is. Except when she comes to an appearance for our show.
Mike, all I'm saying is that I don't feel at ease when I'm in someone else's house 9 times out of 10.
I don't either.
She was the last to leave.
She was the last to leave
from Jimmy's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Once I was gone. That's the way it was. No,
well,
I'm not paranoid, but we had a whole table set up with my family down there, and Rob's mom was down on the main floor, and then I see Carrie stayed up hiding behind the foosball table for the entire time.
A good friend of hers had a reservation at the foosball table, so she was sitting with her friend John.
I would have loved to. I didn't know until the very end that she was even in the building. I had no idea.
Well, we like to keep it that way so as not to pull attention away from us.
No, she's part of the game. She's part of it,
I know.
And
but you came up and you said hi to her.
I saw her up there. I said, "Oh my God, I got to go see Carrie." And it was just we missed her down on the main level. But the main level, fairness to her, Jimmy. God love him.
Yeah.
I love him, and I love his joint.
Yes.
But the setup we had was for eating and drinking and was along the downstairs back wall. in front of all the memorabilia, basically where the band set up.
Yeah.
So that our location was
A high top for each of us.
a high top for each
It
of us.
really looked like he wasn't setting up for us, but for one stand-up comic to come out.
Yes.
That's
and
what it was.
stand in front of the
Or-
high top and then do your bit. Yeah,
Or a wing eating contest.
could be that.
Once I saw the, I got there first because I got there with Jimmy's wife Maureen. Jimmy got there early in the morning, I think, to set things up. He had a catering gig and all that. So we get to Jimmy's at about, I want to say 4 o'clock, probably 4
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I arrive and I see the setup and you can't. There's no arriving at Jimmy's without being announced. There's no arriving at Jimmy's.
God
under
forbid
any
he's up by the
circumstances.
bar when you walk in. God forbid, because then the mic comes out and it all goes. There's
I'm
no way to
walking
sneak
in with
yeah.
Maureen and I hear, and I'm like, oh God. I mean, I know why we're there. We're there, and we get all of our support because we are going to be there to be seen. That's it. It's never, ever been something that I've grown accustomed to. Being announced is delightful. We wouldn't do what we do if we didn't like to be announced. Being announced as soon as you walk through a door is just always been strange to me. And then Jimmy gives me a little tour. I walk outside into his beer garden.
Because you've never been there before.
And I walk outside his
I didn't
beer
get a
garden,
tour.
and he's saying, and as soon as we get through the door, we're walking along. I'm figuring we're going to go see some of the bartenders I know
Right.
there, and so, and he's without a microphone going, Mike O'Mara, ladies and gentlemen, Mike O'Mara, and it's
That's him.
I later on I hid at the bar.
It was not
until he
easy
brought
to
Rob
find you.
to me.
Yeah,
And
we
then
noticed.
Rob and Jimmy came out immediately. Jimmy knew where I was. And,
Yeah. Well, no, I
Rob,
think
would you
Jimmy-
say that place that I was sitting at the bar would be best described as a hiding place?
Mike, first of all, I think I found you and then Jimmy showed up because I asked people where you were and everyone claimed not to know.
Well-
and then I came out and there is an outside bar with a huge corner post and Mike was squarely behind the corner. It really was like, I hate to bring up this dated reference, but I'm into it right now. It was like meeting James Spader in Blackmailer. The Blacklist. Because it was, all I saw was
yeah.
arms, no face.
And Jimmy sits up in that DJ booth, and I think he can sit up there and watch all the cameras, so he can just follow Mike around. So
Yeah,
he
I'm
knows.
sure he's got like a big lighted lucite map of the
I
place.
don't
Yeah.
think there is anyone in any area of performance
Yes.
who would have been comfortable while not performing to be located where we were located, because we've been up like on the second level with the
Sure.
table, right?
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then when
That
you're
might
ready,
be
when you're
ideal.
ready to make announcements, you come down and you do that.
But Zoolander and his family of 12 had our spot.
They had, which was the A table, as far
It
as
was.
I was concerned.
It was, yes.
And it was so nice to see everybody.
Zoolander could see everything.
It was great to see him. He was one that I shared my losing horse with.
Yes.
Although my losing horse,
He was cheated.
he could have done it. It was closer than I would have expected.
in the
It wasn't
home
a
stretch,
a final gambit was not a total bust.
Blame the rain.
Yeah.
And the mud.
Yeah.
Yep, the mutter.
I actually yelled when they were in the home stretch, watch the outside, because he was coming up and then he got blocked. He got
He
blocked.
really got blocked by, I don't know what the horse was that did that, but kind of that horse just
It was a
immediately.
horse named Jimmy
Jimmy.
that blocked him.
You know what I did during the race?
What?
Once the race started, I snuck away to the bathroom. I said, everyone's focused on the TV. I'm going to the bathroom.
And there Josh stayed for 90 minutes.
Josh was really a trooper down
was the
next
best.
to our merch table and was hanging and getting the microphones.
Oh,
and those turned out to work out really well.
It was
Josh.
it was really fun and worked out really well. Yeah.
Really worked
Speaking
out
of
well.
the merch table, Carla was a champ selling the merch. However, she
So did
was like-
Maureen. Maureen was down there to sell the Jimmy's wing
Yes, the
sauce
hot-
too.
but I have to say that Carla is a little bit like a high-tech Jimmy because while she did not announce my arrival, she immediately was on TikTok Live and asked for my horse guess. And I had no idea.
It
was really like an
busy.
attack. It was
She
a
was
razor-like
busy. Look,
attack.
all this moves the meter, so I'm grateful
Yes.
for all of it.
It's
I
all
really
good.
am.
It is all
it's
good.
all good stuff that she was there. And it was just, still after all these years to have people show up and, where we had our very, very first podcast appearance was at Jimmy's, and to see people there was delightful.
And
really,
still
really great.
people bringing their spouse and their significant other and saying he just started listening this week.
Right.
To me, that's extraordinary. I love that the word is still getting out.
Or there was a mother-son combo there.
Mhm. And they were very close.
I stayed. Jimmy lives in Manassas, so that used to be where I lived, and so I got to really go back to my old hometown and hang out and see it. I wrote down some of the things that have changed and some of the things that are similar. O'Mara's Pub has changed hands maybe twice since I sold it.
Okay.
I think
Everyone enjoyed that Jimmy brought the sign out, though.
it was so. Oh, one of the things Jimmy did at his restaurant. Jimmy has kept my O'Mara's sign either
Yes.
from the outside or the inside. I think it was the inside. I think it was along the wall of the inside.
I think it was the one that was dug
The hanging outside sign.
Yes, I
sign?
think it was, because think of the size of it. It's too big to be an
Well,
inside sign.
I will tell you where those posts were. We put so much money into that sign when we opened up.
It's a gorgeous sign.
And now we drove through the back of the old O'Mara's, which was I think called the Sport. They changed it to the Sports Pub, and
It's called the Sports Pub.
the Old Town Sports Pub.
That's clever.
I don't
wonder
know.
if they
I don't
paid
know.
an
I don't know
agency to
enough
come
about
up
it
with
to
that,
know
yeah.
what it is now. I know it's changed hands a couple of times. Little threadbare. The new sign after my joint was a little worn, and then
Did you go in?
no,
Oh, okay, good.
no, and then the two posts where my sign was were two posts with rusty hardware, just nothing in between them.
They're waiting for you to come back.
Sounds like Manassas.
No, nobody's waiting for me to come back.
Well, I think that's why Jimmy keeps the sign, to remind
Right.
him that any restaurant can die.
Exactly. Exactly.
The awareness of being gone for the better part of a decade and then coming back, the awareness of time, the awareness of mortality, the awareness of things don't change or things do change. Where there were two places when I owned my bar for a period of time, maybe about a 3-year period of time, where people made the circuit. There was a bar. There was my bar.
Yep.
O'Mara's Pub, and then there was the City Tavern. And it was a competition between those two joints. We never quite equaled the City Tavern. Imagine my surprise
Yes.
as I was driving through Old Town Manassas, Virginia, and I looked over, and Jimmy pointed to a parking lot. They had a hotel,
Yeah.
and a bar
I
and
remember.
banquet rooms, and it was gone. It was razed. They turned it into a parking lot. It was completely gone. There's still a City Tavern, but it's another joint on the outside of town.
Mike,
And-
I just, for old time's sake, I never throw anything away. And while we have this discussion,
I was living in a devil town.
It's my town.
Didn't know it was a devil town.
Yeah.
but so that looked threadbare there. So what's going to go in that empty lot? I'm guessing pickleball.
No, it was it's a parking lot.
That's it?
I mean, it's been paved over. There are parking spaces.
Oh, my
there.
God,
It is a
that's-
full-fledged functioning parking lot.
Well, to be
It's-
fair,
it
not a
was-
lot of
it's
parking
gone.
in downtown Manassas. Now that helps.
I couldn't believe it. It was strange. And then I had another joint I used to go to, a place called Okra's,
I've
which was
been
a
there,
Cajun
yeah.
food joint that is now called, I think, Loom, I believe, which is an Asian fusion place where we had dinner with Jimmy and his wife and their buddies. And it was delicious.
Is it
and it was
spelled
wonderful.
Loom, like a weaving loom?
Lume.
Oh, okay, maybe
Lume.
Lume.
How did those people respond as Jimmy announced you walking in?
Jimmy, thank God, did not do that.
Well,
but
did
I
he do it
saw
in
a couple of
Chinese
regulars.
when he went in?
If you want the story of that fine place,
Lume.
I had ramen
Mike?
spicy pork belly ramen.
That's a safe
what I
order
had.
because everybody loves ramen.
You might have said it was a safe order.
I would've.
Until I got home.
Oh, no.
Well, sometime maybe it's the stress of being on the road.
It
Maybe
will,
it's,
it will play havoc with your regularity.
All I know is Carla, and let me tell you, the Cerritos, they have a guest room and they have their daughter's room the daughter's has been on the road for a decade, traveling the world. Kelsey's been traveling. Got a chance to FaceTime with her, which was wonderful.
Vietnam.
Carla arranges it so that I'm in the guest room with my kid, and Carla is in Kelsey's room.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
it was really, really wonderful, and it was nice. I am lying there
Lovely.
with my
Did
son.
You go
It
to
was
Olive
lovely.
Garden?
And we're both on our computers.
Right.
And then Michael literally hears my stomach going, "You're wired." It was. And after he fell asleep, I
Yes.
had to duck into the facility. And the
often-
ramen attack was the spicy ramen attack was. I haven't
Was
had
it
that happen to
almost
me in a
to
long
the
time.
minute 3 hours after you ate it? That's when
Very,
something. Yeah.
very, very much so.
Yeah.
And I have to say that a lot of things come to play with my consumption of because
Now, in the old days, the consumption was what they called cancer. You don't have that.
No, in the old days, I couldn't eat enough or drink enough. I was
Never,
just,
ever full?
I was never ever full. When I was like fat tub of goo, I mean, I would not leave. The reason Jimmy liked me doing an appearance, or as I found out, maybe didn't quite like me doing an appearance, was because I would do a 2-hour appearance there, and then I'd stay till closing time.
Yeah. Mhm.
With Jimmy.
Yeah.
And this last one, I was, we were there at 4:00. The race went off at about 7:00, and then shortly thereafter, we did our little hat contest. And then I said to Carla, "You ready to blow town?" And Maureen and Carla and I, and followed by Jimmy, we said our goodbyes. I no longer, I can't do it. I can't
And I'll
hang.
do
I
anything
can't
for
hang.
food. I
don't-
can eat
because
2 dozen eggs,
do
36
it.
pork chops,
If
24
you asked me
frying
what I
pans.
ate at
I've
Jimmy's,
eaten-
I had some of my daughter's wings, and I had
Like
a little
take-home
bite.
wings?
No, I had some of my daughter's wings there that
At the
that she
place.
couldn't
Right.
finish.
Right.
And I had some of Michael's dessert that he couldn't finish.
That's what I was going to
That-
ask.
Michael's
You had
That's
to
what
go
I
there.
had to eat. That's what I had. And I had 2 orange smashes and a half of the third one.
I really
That's
only
it.
2?
Yeah. I
Was
would
that
have been
before or after the show? Or the
Before.
the Preakness?
Okay.
Whatever it
Before.
was, Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
before I had, and he was showing me all his different spots, and I grabbed
On his
he said,
body?
"Do you want some?" No, his locations in his joint.
Does this look
And he showed me the
cancerous to you?
walk-in that we were in the walk-in cooler.
He
with all
loves
the
that.
with all the and I say he said, "You want something?" I said, "Yeah, I'll take one of those." What's that orange smash? Because it really looked good.
Yeah.
And it's a vodka orange cocktail that and I was
That
done
you
after
can
about
drink.
2 that you can drink. And I was done after about 2 of them.
It's the official cocktail of Baltimore, I think. Am I right in that? Or is it just Ocean City? It's a Maryland thing.
It's definitely a Maryland thing.
Yeah. I
Yummy.
never, you know what? It became popular after I dried up, so I've never tasted it. It kills
It's
me.
very sweet. It's very sweet.
And so are you.
Thank you. But I know that I am not. First of all, I'm not 40 or 35 anymore. When I would have
you're
been
almost those two added up.
roaring. Really, Zoolander's prime right now. He's got the kids.
Yeah, but he doesn't-
Those guys his age, right?
Yeah, but he has a short. He burns like magnesium, bright and brief.
Well, he's pretty small.
because he only weighs 20 pounds.
Right.
If he was like a 200-pound Zoolander, which by the way, that's my next AI project.
Yes.
A 200-pound Zoolander would be dangerous.
It was a great time, but I will not. And then Jimmy, when we got back to his house, said, "Oh man, well I tell you, we got out of there in good time this time, boy, not like the old days." And he said it in such a way. I said, "Oh yeah." He said, apparently Jimmy was put upon back because he essentially babysat me back in the day, right?
Sounds
he would
about right.
babysit me until
I would go with that. Yeah.
So it was great. We were back there. They were delightful to host us there.
Michael's dessert that you mentioned, I looked
Yeah.
over, and it really was
Jimmy's
the size of a
food.
Kia.
Jimmy's food, incredible still.
Oh, the best.
Chef Clark, who's the new head honcho in the kitchen, just doing an amazing job.
He is great.
Got a chance to meet him. Some of the guys that have been there a while. Justin was there.
Mm-hmm.
Roy was there, and
I didn't see Roy. That's awesome.
And then we had a wonderful little 22-year-old server who looked like she had just gotten out of middle school.
Yes.
But she was very efficient and did a great job. And it was just a great time, and the atmosphere was fantastic.
I
was
enjoyed
great, yeah.
watching Michael work the room.
Now,
My
speaking
son
of
works
that,
the room. Jimmy's quote was this: "He works the room better than you do," and he's absolutely
Well,
right about
yes,
that.
he does.
He's
I-
preparing for politics.
The
He is,
my mom,
absolutely.
who has not been to an event in years, came, which was so nice to have her come out because she doesn't go out much.
She was sitting at a table with listeners.
Exactly, because she didn't want to sit at the high top because it's not great for that seat. That seat's not great for her.
Okay.
But everyone to a person treated her so well. So thank you, all the people that came up and introduced herself. But the one
She
person
didn't want to sit at the high top. Why none of us wanted to sit at the high top?
It's
Because
true.
you're raised above the crowd with your plates,
but
so people can see you eating like a gorilla in the zoo.
well, nobody saw me eat.
because
did
you
you hide?
didn't eat.
No, because I left Jimmy's and I was like, I didn't have anything to eat.
Oh wow, yeah, we were busy.
Busy,
You were busy.
busy.
You were doing a lot of stuff. I
But-
was. I don't know what I was doing. I was talking to people. That's
My
what I was
mom
doing
said,
primarily.
that I had to say this to you and Carla directly, that the favorite person that she had to talk to was your son.
Yeah.
Because he was
was a hit.
walking by and she said, "Hi, Michael." And he said, "Hi, I'm really glad you're here tonight." And she says, "Do you know who I am?" And he said, "No." And she said, "I'm Rob's mother." And he said, "Oh, it is such a pleasure to meet you."
Kid is something else.
He really is. Yeah.
Can't teach it.
No.
I didn't. I mean, did I say please, thank you, and stress that when he was
Yeah.
young? He's a stone cold blast.
Yeah,
I love
fun.
him so much.
Good to see
I
him
love him
too. He's so
much.
tall,
And
and
he's
he's
a
a little
blast.
man now. It's so great. So
Traveling
great.
with him, Carl and I are almost just permanently in the mode now where we're going to make every effort in the world not to go anywhere without him. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Well,
He's
and
just
I think
fantastic.
Michael's preparing for having to take care of you.
That's right.
You might
He's
be
interning under Jimmy
You
for
might
the
be right.
babysitter.
Oh my God, what a great kid! We had a lot of laughs. Now, as far as the old hometown, we used to make jokes about Llantas Usadas. I'm here to tell you,
Josh,
there
are you
are-
familiar with that?
I am not.
It's
Mike-
used tires.
Used tires.
okay,
yeah.
yes,
The
I am
28
familiar with the
corridor
used
coming
tire
into
district.
Manassas. So
Yes.
lots of joints had changed hands.
How many? A lot of drugstores still.
The drugstore district has thinned out. I saw one.
The cream
And
rises to the top, Mike.
They perhaps have put a new vape store where and several other. I don't know. I did know this.
You got to
that
adjust for your market.
yeah.
You do, but there are plenty of used tire and used car
That's
locations.
great. That's
The
great.
greatest, in my humble opinion, the greatest chicken chain in the history of chicken chains, and I don't say Chick-fil-A, I say Guapos, where
Yes.
Carl and I managed on Sunday. Sunday, was it Sunday? No, wrong. Saturday. Before we got to Jim's, we managed to get the lunch together at Guapos.
Was that before or after your
Absolutely.
pedicure?
That was after. After Carly got the mani and I got the pedi.
Did you have a hard time finding a nail salon in Manassas?
Carla's favorite, her lady Ann.
Still there?
Yeah. With
Oh,
the
that's
with the
great.
and Carla got the manicure from Ann, who she thinks is phenomenal, and I got the second in charge, who I call Chopper, based on how she digs into
okay.
my same people there. And
I
it
was
was,
picturing like a 1960s motorcycle guy.
Carla was a regular there all the time, and she loves this lady. And it was great to see that, and we did that, and then we bopped around.
In Manassas,
yes.
what made you the happiest and what made you the saddest? This is a question I like to ask my kids when they go on a trip.
That's a good question. Okay, the happiest would be probably getting the food. Nope, wrong. There are two food memories.
Okay.
Where Fat Mike
Yes.
remembered it. I had
Sense
at-
memory?
my memories. I wrote it down here. My Manassas memories are all food memories.
Yeah.
And the two happiest spots where I was were Guapo's, the chicken joint.
Yeah.
And then just, you could walk to the place from there, Nathan's Dairy Bar.
Yes, because
where
Klein's
they
is
make-
gone.
Where
Klein's
they
is
make
gone.
I was never a Klein's guy, ever.
I remember you
Ever.
love this place. Can I try to remember your order?
Yeah.
Is it a mint
Yeah.
ice cream with a chocolate shell that
No,
you break
it
up?
is it is a mint chocolate chip shake, which they use magic shell for the chocolate chip.
Ah, that's right. I was in the neighborhood.
Absolutely identical, absolutely on the menu, and I having one of those was a memory.
When you finished it, did you have the mint chocolate shakes?
It was fantastic.
Did Carla have ice cream too?
No, I don't think she was with us when that was happening.
Did
Maybe
Jimmy
she
have
was.
ice
I don't know.
cream?
Jimmy went. We were all over the place. We were jumping around. Jimmy gave me his car for the weekend. So we went Friday night down to
The
visit
sports car?
my daughter.
The muscle car?
The Challenger.
Yeah, it's a good
his
car.
Dodge Challenger. We zipped down to Warrenton, and then my son on Friday night is sitting there after we had dinner with Elizabeth and her boyfriend Connor.
Whoops!
I gave him such a hard time. That poor lad. He now gets it from me almost every time. And this is
I loved
Elizabeth's
him.
fiance, Connor. And
I loved Connor. Connor was great.
Connor
and
is
it
a
was
great kid.
so good to see. I hadn't seen Elizabeth in maybe 8 or 9 years.
Right.
And it was so good to see her. She looked so happy, and
she
she's
was
so
happy.
much fun
she's,
to
and
talk
she's
to.
in her brand new, the
Love her.
coolest apartment.
Yeah.
If I'd had an apartment like this when I was her age, I'd probably never move out of it. It is a 1800 schoolhouse converted to 2 apartments. And
Is
she's
it in
got one of them.
Laurel?
It's it's not. It's not the Willow Lake Apartments. I thought it would be like a room. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? An apartment room that type. No, it's really like old fashioned and beautiful. And it was so cool to see her. And the Michael says, as we're sitting there after dinner, we're getting ready to leave, says, "Hear me out." Puts his hands out. The politician. Hear me out. What if I were to stay here tonight and then meet you at Jimmy's tomorrow? And Elizabeth immediately goes, "Oh, that'd be fine. That'd be absolutely fine." Michael stayed with Elizabeth and Connor on Friday night. On Friday night, and met us at Jimmy's on Saturday.
As a father, how does that make you feel?
My heart
It's got to
exploded.
be. It's got to be 100%.
My heart exploded.
Magnificent.
That's the when I'm gone. That's the cool part.
Yeah.
That's the next gen. That's they like each other. They like hanging with each other. The fact that they're bonding is it's not describable how great it is that they will have a relationship.
So great. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic, and it just was so much fun. That's the thing of all the weekend activity. That's what made me truly the happiest.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that.
Let me see. All right, what made me the saddest?
The high top tables.
The saddest would be driving by my joint.
It has to be.
Because it's not my joint.
Mm-hmm.
When I bought it, I thought this is phase 2 of my life. That never turned out to be. You realize that in that particular industry, having a place like Jimmy's forever is a stunning accomplishment.
It is.
To be able to keep it alive. Absolutely. And the reason he does is because he is the proprietor and his hands are on that all the time. Even when he's traveling the world, his hands are on that all the time. And Jimmy goes down through the list of employees, and it's people he's known for a million years, and he knows their kids, and he knows their kids' kids. And that's how you do it. If you're going to have a neighborhood joint, that's such a rarity in the world
I have to
now. It
wonder
really is.
if his superpower is memory, because he doesn't not drink a lot. He can put it away.
He doesn't really. That's the key. He might seem to, but I think Jimmy is pretty much in control.
Oh, he's in control.
Usually.
But he'll come up to me and say, "Come here, I want you to see someone." I say, "Okay." And it's a couple that I met in New Orleans and had a drink with them. It was non-alcoholic, but I had a drink with them. And I didn't really remember. It came back to me after he mentioned it, but he remembers single incidents from years ago.
A football player from 45 years ago.
Scott Norwood.
Scott Norwood, who I met, Jimmy said that's the surprise. How excited was I about that surprise when we had wrapped things up, Rob?
It was great. It was so exciting for people that
Thank you for coming. We'll see you next time. Bye. Hold on.
Well,
with his mic technique.
Jimmy had a great ability to, every time you pick up the mic, that he happened to be on the mic also.
Yeah.
It was.
It happened
I'm
with
sure
the
that came
interviews,
through
too.
the bonus show too, probably.
And then Mike, you said, here is Buffalo Bills great Scott Norwood.
And apparently Don and I didn't remember it, had called him after he missed the kick at the Super Bowl.
I believe that you did. That was exactly the flavor of the show then.
Yeah, all right.
But-
what, naked cruelty every day?
Yep, exactly.
Who can we hurt?
Exactly.
Who can we hurt?
You want me to give you the number for Sanders' kid?
Yeah. Should we hurt people within the show or outside of the show?
It was, yeah, exactly. It was sunnier days. It was a great moment.
He's a buddy with Jimmy. He shows up all
he's
the
a
time,
Northern
I think.
Virginia guy, and what a guy he is. What
Norwood,
a human
Virginia.
being.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, imagine what he's endured over sports.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about people that take it too seriously. That man has suffered enough. Plenty.
Yeah.
But he owns it and he knows it, and life goes on. And by the way, he made more than he missed, and that's the whole ball game right there. But my son was thrilled because my son's now an NFL fan and got the autographed picture of him, Scott Norwood, and it was just it was really a great time.
And I think it was
really
nice when you, Mike, signed Scott Norwood's helmet for him.
It was
Now,
Buffalo.
I do think you need to teach Michael a little bit more about the history of baseball, because he had some old baseball cards he was opening up there. And I was going through with them, and he's flipping through, and one of his cards was Wade Boggs.
Wade
which you
Boggs
would
of the
think,
Boston Red
Yeah.
Sox.
As a Red Sox, he should be excited about that. Just flipped right past it, left all
Right.
the cards behind, no good players in the cards. I was like, you had Wade Boggs. You're a Red Sox fan.
We
Very
happened
nice.
to get lucky enough to get the cards. The cards are in our bedroom. The
Yes,
cards are left.
because-
Wherever Michael goes, he leaves the cards.
I picked them up and put them in the box for Jimmy to take back.
That's it. Yeah. He wasn't turbo into that. Who gave him the cards? Jim Amato?
I have no idea.
Jim Amato gave me some Elvis baseball cards or Elvis trading cards, so I assume it was him. So.
We got wooden nickels. We got platters. We got. I got a great Caps jersey from a listener, which people came bearing gifts, and thank you to everybody that supported the show by buying our merch and supported Jimmy's by buying the hot
and
sauce,
being in the
which was
hat
great.
contest. Great
Yes.
turnout for the hat contest.
Let's
To
take a break.
point
We
that
have
it was hard to choose
many,
a winner.
many more memories. We will do the news a little later,
Okay.
and we'll take a break here. And when we come back, more about the great city of Manassas, where
Doubletown.
some businesses have been repurposed, ladies and gentlemen. And I was a proprietor of one of those businesses with Mi Familia. It's a weird weekend. It really was. Northern Virginia's weird. Hey, everybody, if bugs are even a minor problem in and around your house, you have to check out our next sponsor, Pesty. Spiders, ants, and other bugs are looking for somewhere to hang out. With Pesty's do-it-yourself pest control, you can make sure they don't choose your house. Pesty is on a mission to provide pro-grade pest control products at an affordable price. Other pest control companies charge over $800 per year. But with Pesty, you can get started at just $35, ladies and gentlemen. $35 per year. That is just $35 per month. Sorry about that.
Yes.
The kit includes a sprayer, mixing bag, pesticide, gloves, instructions. You can get your thing done in less than 10 minutes. You do not have to worry. Plus, Pesty offers a 100% bug-free guarantee. We love Pesty. We know you will too, ladies and gentlemen.
I applied it already. It takes no time at all, and it's fun. You
Yeah, it
squirt
is.
it. I mean, it's like a squirt gun. It's fun.
Yeah, we love Pesty. It's really, really good. And, we are... Hold on a second. I've messed up. Hold on. Wait a minute. God, back home.
The
What
thing
is
about
wrong
Pesty,
with my
you charge
computer
up-
system?
You charge up the sprayer on your computer. It's a USB one.
Yes.
And you just all through the borders of your house, and they know where you live. They know what bugs you're battling. and it takes care of it. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
and for the Oriole fans, I pretend I'm Mr. Splash as I'm walking around spraying the house.
Mike, do you know Mr. Splash?
Mr. Splash is wonderful. Hello, Mr. Splash. Mr. Splash.
I got to see Mr. Splash. I would call him. He's sort of a silly guy with a lot of shenanigans at
He's
the
a
ballpark.
mascot.
Is he,
Mr.
though?
Splash is nice. Mr. Splash is great.
He doesn't wear an outfit though. I think
He wears a pink flamingo inner tube
that's not mascot worthy. He
and,
needs
and goggles and a snorkel.
and how do you separate him from other Orioles fans?
Pesty is kid and pet friendly, so you do not have to worry. Plus, Pesty offers a 100% bug-free guarantee or your money back. Seriously, no questions asked. And please remember, free gloves. Really nice gloves at no additional charge. Protect your home from bugs with Pesty. Go to pesty.com/TMOS for an extra 10% off your order. That's pestie.com/TMOS for an extra 10% off. And we thank you, Pesty. Welcome back to the show. Whoa,
Glovey glove.
Glovey glove. Yeah, fingers just don't work quite as well. Meanwhile, back to the show. Now, let me see. We were there. Michael was there. My daughter was there. Rob's son didn't make it because he had some final stuff to do.
Yeah.
And Carrie was there, and she stayed up on the second level, and I got to finally see her. So I covered everybody. I think I said hi to everybody I wanted to. Let's see.
Carla made a fuss over my mom, which was very sweet. Everyone treated her so well, guys. If you were there, just thank you so much.
Good. It was nice to see Sharon.
She
and she
literally
looks good.
had a blast. So that's great.
I still think of her because I'm closer in age to her than I am to you. I think of her as a young lady. I still do. Your mom is still very vital to me.
Lovely and
it's
single.
very cool. The food memories I mentioned. What did you say? Lovely and what?
And single.
Hey, there's some
very
free guys
exciting.
out there.
I know.
They can reach out.
They've got freedom.
Well,
That's what
some
they
of
got.
our listeners, could probably date her. They're in the demographic.
Exactly.
As they continue to age.
Well, if they like younger women.
Would you like a new stepdad?
Sure, whatever. At this point, I'll take anything.
Two thoughts
Yes.
on the. All right, malls in America. Is the plan for most malls, indoor malls, is it the plan like it is at Manassas Mall to flip them to amusement centers? Because
I think
in
it's
the mall,
a wise use.
we went into the mall with my son, and they had an indoor go-kart track.
I remember this.
Carla put some stuff up on social with that. I got to hop into the go-kart. My son waxed me on the track. In fact, T-boned me at one particular moment. And it was just kind of different because I used to walk around that mall when that was a big box store.
It was
like
a
maybe
decent
Target
box store.
or something
I don't know.
like that.
You know what? Tyson's still exists. Tyson's Corner is a big mall in McLean, Virginia. That's actually two separate malls. It's a very upscale mall. That still functions. I think that
They
Fair
function
Oaks- down
down here with their indoor-outdoor. They're all outdoor places, and they're all thriving down
Yeah,
here.
well, we've got the what is it? The outlet mall out here in Leesburg, which
Those
is an
still do
outdoor
well,
mall. They
right?
do well. They do.
Okay, all right.
But I think that Fair Oaks is slowly closing, and Fair Oaks was in Fairfax. That was my favorite mall growing up. But people just don't go to them anymore.
And
they don't.
Yeah, I went by Marley Station Mall. Did not go inside in Glen Burnie.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was a big gym and then half like DMV.
Yeah. Did they at Manassas Mall, Mike, they were ahead of the curve when they were repurposing that property with pickleball. Do they still have pickleball courts there?
They have pickleball right next to, right across from where the go-kart track is. Then they have a smattering of stores. I think they got a Walmart that it's in that big mall, but they have the little stores that are there too. The little like Molly Mall stores, like Lids and Spencer Gifts. And speaking of Spencer Gifts, I was not able to give this out during the show, which is
Did you get this at Spencer's?
This is from Spencer's Gifts. Let me put my
So many,
specs on
you know
here.
what, Mike? Novelties are for sale at Spencer Gifts, and some of them are family
There's
friendly,
100,
and some of them are
100
not.
pieces.
100 of them.
Let's see. Try our other fine ingredient.
Ingredients. It's
I'm not
food?
sure I would buy food at Spencer's.
No. Was this supposed to be the prize for the hat contest? Was this the original plan? Before it became your watch?
Before it
What the
became
hell
fine
does this
jewelry?
say? God damn it! I can't read. Try our other fine. What? Pride Fest? What the hell is Try our other fine products. Thank you.
Oh,
I
not
can't
Pride
read.
Fest. That's a whole different
Be
event.
sure and
Yeah,
try
you're
our other
going-
fine products.
Be sure to enjoy the Pride Fest.
I
That's
think
right.
that was probably. I'm just trying to find out where it's manufactured. There it is.
Oh, I can guess.
What is it?
I'll tell you in a second. Hold on a second.
If he bought it,
no.
I guarantee you it's something that in the future will be affected by tariffs.
There it is. It's Suck a Bag of Dicks.
Oh, how nice.
It's candy. Mm-hmm. It's
Oh, and it's got that nice from the font and the packaging. I'd assume it's gummies.
It's candy prints.
Or like some Mike and Ike's.
Candy prints. That's
What
what
does
it
that
says.
mean?
Yeah. Have you
That
opened
means
these?
that they're little candies.
Open and try one. You must.
I don't think I want to do that.
Well, at least
All
get
right, it
one
looks-
out and describe it.
It looks like some Smarties or something.
Yeah. You know what it looks like?
You
It
know-
might be like
Smarties. That's what. It's exactly what they are.
No,
All right.
they're too shiny to be Smarties, though. They have
Yeah.
some sort of glaze.
Go ahead and suck on it.
All right, hold on. Thanks, Josh. Here we go.
Just till you get past the glaze, Mike.
All right, here is one.
Yes. Oh, that's not a very big one, is it? Is it
They're all
cold
the
in
same
there?
size.
But you did pull out a pink one, which is nice.
Yeah. The chat room is saying that it looks like I'm in Rob's childhood bedroom.
What the hell happened here?
Little do they know. No, it's not your childhood.
No, it's not. Well, some say I never left. What does it taste like, Mike?
Not good.
So you can't recommend it?
Is it sour?
Oh. Or
Tastes
is,
like
it,
it's been there in that bag for about 15 years.
is it more of a savory candy?
No, it's not savory either. But
Well,
it's
so
nasty.
thumbs up, thumbs down on that then.
So that was from the mall.
I'm sorry that
Thank you.
does not pass.
The other thing is,
that the only thing you bought at Spencer Gifts?
Pass them on to Michael.
The other thing is regarding our man Rob Spiewak and his
Okay.
physical appearance. He looked great with his Elvis
you're
jeans.
sweet.
Oh,
but
thank
you
you.
need chapstick. You need.
I know. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, hold on. What is going on with your lip? Your
It
lower
happens
lip.
with dehydration. Actually, if I
Well,
properly hydrate,
But do you carry lip balm with you?
right here
What is the brand?
Aquaphor?
It's not working.
Okay.
It's that you need the chappy stick. You need the chappy. I was going to have Josh bring chapstick to your house because of the.
Well,
I've
that's-
never seen your lips. Your bottom
That's-
lip is sloughing off, and
I
I was
know,
worried
Mike.
about it. It's
Don't be
nothing,
worried. Don't be worried.
It looks, but I worry about you, and
It's
it
also
looks
a
like,
nervous tick of mine because
that?
of that to pull at my lip a little bit. And
Like
so
that? With your teeth?
that or with my teeth or with my hand. It's just it's. I've never.
Josh,
had-
can you see his lips and do an analysis of his lower lip?
It doesn't look that bad from here. It
Thank
does
you.
look a little dry, but
Yeah.
not too bad.
Yeah.
I thought when you were going to talk about Rob's appearance, I thought you were going to talk about his hands from that picture that got posted.
Oh, that
Did you-
weird angle.
Did you see the picture posted on Facebook of the three of us?
I look like I had.
No.
It's a great picture, by the way. I want to thank Jeff Hancock for taking it.
Take a look. Yeah, it's a great picture, but take a look at Rob's
My hand. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. Why does the picture look like? And both our hands look unusually large.
That's
Yes.
true. You are a little Andre the Giant, aren't you?
What is going on? Is that just the lens that we have there?
I don't know.
It's
I
the
think
angle or something.
Jeff
yeah.
said he can correct it. I saw him say that.
Rob,
but-
you've lost some weight too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's good. I mean, you didn't gain back all your weight like you said. You haven't talked
No,
about your
I
weight a
lost
lot.
about 100 pounds and then put back on 40 or 35. So I'm still way down. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
You
So,
can tell by the point of my head.
Would that be the thinnest photograph that's ever been taken of you and I side by side?
I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
I'm giving
Yeah.
us a round of applause for that.
Jeff, Photoshop that, fix our hands, and we'll print up 10 glossies that we can autograph and mail out.
Carla said something about Jeff. This is a guy that takes a lot of pictures.
Good guy.
And,
loves the show.
He
loves
posted
the
a lot
show.
on Facebook, which was great.
But said he was. He said something to Carla. I'll remember it. I'll ask her tonight. It was something that
Positive?
he said. No, negative.
Oh.
It was a negative. You know me. I don't dwell on anything.
Was it
positive.
about the show or about his life or
It's about the merch?
Oh. Yeah. About
What?
the
You
price-
remember this? What
I know
was it?
I know what the conversation is.
Well, oh, good. What was it?
It was the playing cards. Well, that
Oh, yeah,
seems
yeah, yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Because I then spoke up and then said, well, yes, everything here is more expensive than if you just went and bought it at Walmart because you're supporting
Well,
this.
if it was generic,
Yes.
yeah,
Look,
if it was
Mike,
generic, but it's not
Here's
generic.
our
For
beautiful
Christ's
cards
sake.
right here, and you know what costs more than them? These cards, or these cards, or these cards. They all cost more than what we offered you.
Oh,
So-
how about what now? See, don't you wish you had your boy there, Josh, when that conversation was happening?
No, because I was just shutting it down and walking away. Because I get too much little negative comments like that where it's unnecessary.
These cost more.
And I wasn't going to say anything to Jeff.
We are
because-
just like everybody else. Do we understand that inflation is a thing?
Yeah.
We do. But on our merch, we kind of keep it reasonable, and we appreciate everybody that
These
purchased
cost
everything.
more.
we
These
the playing-
cost more.
Look at the. He's
This
right.
specialty
Rob is
deck
not.
costs more.
Rob is not BSing right
no,
here.
it's real.
No, unfortunately, we could not get our decks off of Temu.
That's right.
All right, so Rob, can I just
We
put
had
to
a whole
rest
bag of decks.
one more about the chap lip thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I'm sorry about
I
that.
haven't seen you in a long time, and I don't remember it being like that. And I thought it just reassure me that it is not anything like if it's dehydration.
That's what it is.
Hydrate more, and if that's all it is, I will no longer be worried. That aquifer, no, not going to do
You
it.
know, you're talking out of your ass. It's so
Rob,
much better
you
than
don't.
chapstick.
It's not. Look at your lip. It's the proof is in the lip. Yeah, you put the regular chapstick is medicinal. My son took it to school
Aquaphor
today.
is medicinal. How about that?
That's hand cream, Aquaphor.
Yeah, well, a chapstick
Can't
is
it
wax.
won't work.
It's
It won't-
wax and camphor.
Chapstick has medication in it.
So you think. You're crazy.
I've used chapstick my
Is
whole
that why
life.
you
I
can
have
get
ch-
it without a prescription?
I have chapstick
The highly
too.
medicated
Is
chapstick?
you gotta hear me out and
Yeah,
give
you
it
gotta
at least
get
give it a try.
prescription chapstick.
Yeah, I suppose.
You got to give it a try. You got to give it a try. But I don't care now because if it's just appearance, I could
These
care
cost
less.
more.
He's talking
No,
about the cards.
let's just leave Jeff alone. He took really great pictures for
Jeff,
us.
took
this
great
was,
pictures.
This was cheaper. This is a used deck from the Golden Nugget. So if you want cheap cards, go to
Okay.
Vegas.
Yes.
I get it. I
Just
get
like
it.
if you want cheap pictures, you can just use your phone.
That's right. But
Now,
Jeff, here's the deal. If
yes.
you process that photo of the three of us, make our hands smaller, and maybe clean up the table,
Can I see the picture
Now,
again?
I
'Cause
will
we
give
were
you
gonna-
a deck of cards.
Now, I will. No. Well, I'll say all this. I hate calling Jeff out. He did buy the deck of cards.
oh,
he
that's-
did
Then,
make the
then
purchase.
F it. Then everybody
So,
shut up. That's
everyone's
it.
fine.
Then don't worry about it. Let me see the picture again. I want to see the picture with our giant hands.
I think it's, if he can adjust the hands, it's a great picture.
Now, will we be able to doctor that a little bit and
Yes.
and use that because that's a pretty damn fine.
And
I'm saying like get maybe my glasses out of the way
Yeah,
that I
I-
hang around my neck. I got to go either with the string or some other way.
You don't need a string. And please don't get ones that have magnetic on the nose bridge. I hate
think-
that.
Oh, that's
If
my
you just went
cousin
with-
that does that.
If you just went with one pair of glasses hanging down, that
Yeah,
might
I
do
know.
it.
But I mean, you know what? You're right. You're right. I'll lose them if I don't put them there.
No,
I'll
Mike
lose them.
Mike, you've never lost a pair of glasses in your
You know
life.
what you need?
And that's cool. I've got the Jimmy's pin that a guy gave me too. See
What is
that
the
on my
Jimmy's
collar?
pin?
Some guy said you're part of the club now, and he just gave me that pin, and then Carla put it on me right
Then
away.
he stabbed you.
He stabbed me in the eye.
Well, that's the tracking pin. That's how Jimmy always knew where you were.
Exactly. Exactly.
It was fine.
No, but Jeff, we love the photo, and
yes,
if you
thank
could,
you.
and if you could correct it, that would be great. And I'll give you another deck of cards.
all right, I got a couple. I can get this out of the way because we have time. I want to
Okay.
be able to do that. The other thing, Northern Virginia, more roads, same traffic. They never right. Would I
Yes.
be right about that? Right.
That's the first thing I think I texted you guys when I got here.
More roads,
was,
same traffic.
Remember why I left?
Yeah, more roads. Just it'll never be fixed. It'll never. By the way, coming from Gainesville, Virginia, when I was coming back from Warrenton, getting on 66 now, what 6 lanes, 5 lanes, something like that. it still doesn't. It
And
doesn't
also,
matter.
flip a coin if you're going to be in the express lane or not because it's not signed right. Maybe you're going to be in the fast lane. Maybe you're not. You don't know. You never know.
More roads, same situation. It got the malls thing where they had a go-kart track inside the malls. That we did it. We used it. Ridiculously expensive. Mike,
I got to ask.
Yes.
How much for the go-kart ride for, let's say for you, for a grown-up?
1 7-lap race
Yeah.
was like $28. And I'm sure it was more after we paid for the add-ons. It was absurd. $150, $60,
Were the
60
hel-
plus
were the
for
helmets-
both of us.
Helmets extra?
I don't know, but it was just once you get to the $30 for one rider for 7 laps.
Yeah, that's
And of
too
course,
much.
everybody had the amusement park mentality. It was like,
Yeah.
you know, I know we know you're bored,
Mike.
Fine.
That's the amusement park mentality. Takes 4 steps down in a mall.
Right.
There's no excitement of being at Manassas Mall. So
By
you're
the
not
way-
going to get the most alert participants.
Is there
Yes.
a mini golf in that mall? Because that's the other thing I noticed in the mall was
They
mini golf.
may have had it. I didn't cover the whole mall. We didn't make all of it, but we were killing time and we were looking for things to decorate the hat.
I love.
I was looking for a hat actually.
At the Manassas Mall, they do have one miniature golf course. My favorite is the 3rd hole, where you have to get your ball under the meth clinic.
Meth clinic
It comes
right
out
there.
the other side.
Fine town.
So you actually went to the mall to buy a hat and accoutrements?
I was impressed with your hat.
Your
My hat was
great.
$5. My hat was $5.
That's like five.
That's great.
That's like 5 go-karts.
And then I went to I went to the place where you get hair bands and hair decorations, and I put those on the hat.
Did they
and
say, "Where have you been"?
it was wonderful.
Right. Did they try to match your hair?
Yeah, we're good to
Let's
have
get
you
you
back.
the right one.
Right.
Wow. Golf
What?
shoes. Timu is calling. By the way, I get notices by Timu when I'm doing the show.
Yes.
Golf shoes now $15. I think they're clearing out their American warehouses.
They are. They're not shipping anything from China anymore, and
Right,
they are
that's
clearing
sad.
out the American
Sad, right?
warehouses.
Sad.
Okay, the last things I wanted to get here, because we are now we're running a little bit late. Let's see. I got the chapstick. I got the malls. The rude guy on the plane.
Oh yeah, how was your travel both ways? I wanted to
The
ask you.
United Airlines gets a 10 as usual.
They're
I'm beginning
the
to
best.
used to say that 30 years ago. I'm saying it again. Salute.
like bouncing
'em.
back.
Yeah.
Great.
Are they the ones that Jimmy has? Is that
Yes.
Jimmy's?
Yep. I flew
good.
with United.
Thanks, Jimmy. Maybe I will take you up on that miles off.
Jimmy used to be a pilot for United.
The guy in front of us. By the way, we were in row 29 on the way home.
That's a good one.
Hey, I got 34.
Okay, so we're in the back of the plane, and I mean, when I say the back, way back. And how many times do you have to hurl your body into a seat? Look, folks, be mindful if there's somebody in back of you. You just be mindful. There are other people around. And then following that, after he finally gets comfortable, he's not a big guy. He's not a small guy. He's an average-sized person. Just this. Just
Constant moving.
constant moving, slamming the body around. Minor inconvenience, minor annoyance,
Right.
nothing to get upset about. Then starts a conversation on the plane, fully loud, with his wife on speakerphone. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I've not. That is not okay.
He starts all I'm doing is looking at Carla. I am looking at Carla. We are looking at each other like it is sometimes rude behavior is so over the top rude. Just rude, not egregious, not
You have to wonder-
viral,
he's gotta
Karen
be-
worthy, just plain rude is
He's
rude.
got to be that way in real life because
Yeah.
you know, when I told Robert when we were flying to Maine to visit you at your house in Maine, and Robert and I had never traveled by plane together, you know, just the two of us, and I said, air travel sucks. I probably didn't say that because he was a kid, but I said air travel always sucks. So you have to do your best to be not part of the problem.
Right.
Just try to make it a little better for everybody. But nobody does this.
Right.
And the speakerphone, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was insane. And
What
then,
were they talking about?
Carla heard it because of my ears. I just hear
Sure. Yeah.
and Carla said they were fighting. She said something. Carla said that the lady said something like, "Please don't call me again. Enjoy your trip with your golf and your buddies." Like, obviously a pissed off wife.
Are you sure that wasn't Carla calling you?
Then he stood up when he finally stood up, and we had the whole 2.5 hour flight to see the guy stay up. Plane was delayed. We spent some time on the tarmac waiting to take off. When he finally stands up, he had a Corvette shirt.
Of course he did.
Hey ho!
And Carla says something about his snot. That he was sucking his snot.
He was sucking.
Really? I had by this time I got the earbuds in.
Were you watching anything or listening to something?
I was watching. What movie was I watching? I was watching a movie for a brief period of time.
Prince of Tides?
They had classic movies. I was watching Ferris Bueller.
That's
so
good.
I love me the Ferris Bueller.
Did you get to the part where the guys steal the Corvette, or I'm sorry, the Ferrari, and go over the hill and go airborne? Yeah, favorite shot of the movie.
Yeah, I got to that part, and then I was watching the one of the best interactive maps. Because I love to see where we are and where we're going. I know you think it's funny.
A lot of people don't know this, but on United, those maps, they're touchscreen, and you can actually divert the plane.
Yeah, by yourself.
I was watching the United map as well. It was
fun.
very entertaining.
That's a great map.
show. Yeah.
One of the best maps in flight. So
hey, that's a great map.
It's a good airline. It really is. It's a good airline. Then Carla finally leans up to the guy, and I had no idea what she was going. She said, "Excuse me, can you please turn that down?" He was playing an online slot machine on his phone with the speaker all the way
with
up.
full volume.
Yeah, guy was a
You know, when I play, if I ever play like a slot, even in my home, I turn the volume down because I find it annoying.
On my flight, there was this music playing,
and
I thought it was background music on the plane.
Okay.
Because I didn't hear it when I would put on my headphones, but every time I took them off, I would hear it. Finally, when getting off the plane, I found that it was someone on the road next to me just playing music on their phone the entire flight.
And on my ride into Jimmy's, my mom wouldn't shut up.
Okay, so it's stunning the way
blah,
that goes.
Blah, blah, blah.
Rob, you're driving me nuts. I am trying to move this along, and we do
move
have
forward.
to break.
We must move forward.
We must move forward. That's it. I think I covered it all. That's it. The
Thank
plane,
you to the listeners. It was a great weekend.
Speakerphone, and that's right. Collar got him when he put on his slot machine. We will take a break. We will come back with the wonderful roundtable of news, and later on, Rob and Josh went to the big old ball game.
We did.
We'll cover that as well. So lots going on. You know what? It's a good problem to have on a show when you literally have so much that you can't get to it. Moving right along. Hey, you big dummy. Stop counting sheep. It's a bad way to fall asleep. So how about this? No. Today's episode of this podcast, sponsored by Soul. The team at Soul just launched their new out-of-office nightcap gummies, which are similar to their world-famous sleep gummies, but nightcap gummies have 3 milligrams of THC for people who require something a little stronger to go to sleep. THC and melatonin in Soul's nightcap gummies work together to promote deep restorative sleep. How? Well, I'll tell you. Shut up. Don't you shut up. Stop it. THC helps you go to sleep faster and stay asleep longer. The melatonin signals to your body that it's time to sleep. And Soul's out-of-office nightcap gummies also contain CBN and CBD. So you sleep deeply and you wake up, this is the most important part, without feeling groggy. Groggy ain't good.
Mike, of all the sleep supplements, we choose Soul.
That's right. Of course. Soul made them delicious, too. Blueberry lemonade, yum, yum. Plus, if you want to treat yourself, crack open a cold, out-of-office sparkling THC beverage. Delicious and relaxing. Rob loves them. Subscribe to these wonderful little helpers. They work, and I love them, too. Slumber City, sweetheart, and sweet dreams of Rob and his THC sodas. So with Chapstick, hopefully, starting today.
Stop it.
So
let's bury that.
Hit the snooze button on crappy sleep and prepare for a great night. Go to getsoul.com and use code TMOS for 30% off your order. That's 30% off your order using code TMOS. That's getsoul.com and code TMOS for 30% off, everybody. There it is.
There it is. It's not playing.
Yes, sorry. Moving
Mike,
right along.
I'm sorry I don't have that. I don't know why it's not playing.
It's Rob, it's playing.
Huh. How about that? Oh, you know what? I had it soloed.
Yes, the rest of us were hearing it twice.
Yes. Well, it's a good element, as a matter of fact. To be honest, 100%. As my son would say, not going to lie to you.
Let's say it's Cinco de Mayo, ladies. The real Cinco de Mayo. A lot of people were doing that around the weekend too, not just the race.
I always like to say, Mike, Cinco de Mayo is great because it's Mexican Independence Day, which it isn't, but it makes everyone mad. Yeah.
In a new poll, 39% of Americans say it's Mexican Independence Day.
Yes.
26% say it's a celebration of Mexican American culture. 13% say it's just a fun excuse to drink, and another 13% admit they have no clue what it's all about. None of those things are correct. Do you know what it is?
I have no idea.
It is the celebration of the end of Star Wars weekend.
It is not correct. 10% of people know the correct answer. Cinco de Mayo actually commemorates the Mexican victory over the French in the Battle of Puebla.
Excellent. Oh, good.
Which took place on May 5th, 1862, 163 years ago.
And the sad thing is at the time, it didn't get all the news coverage because of the Civil War. So now they've hired some people, and people know about it now. So you can have chips and salsa and Corona brand beer.
And it's also right around the time that A1 steak sauce was invented. That's absolutely true, but not really related to this. Here's a history lesson. The battle itself was not a major strategic win, and the French took control of Mexico 2 years later. But it was a major morale boost for the Mexican resistance, and it helped them to gain an alliance with the Americans to eventually force the French to withdraw. Historians believe the French would have backed the Confederacy during
guaranteed.
America's Civil War, so there is a tie in there. So Mexico's resistance likely changed the history of the United States.
How about
so
that?
there's your Cinco de Mayo.
You know what?
information.
If they hadn't done that, we would be, Mike, you would be right near the Gulf of France.
The Gulf of France, wouldn't that be a drag,
Yeah,
right? Because it would be
absolutely.
made of béarnaise sauce.
And brie.
Bonjour.
Hello.
Why isn't my thing playing?
Maybe it's soloed.
Check the headphones in the living room.
Trying to say, hold on a second. I want to plug this in and get it to. All right, there it is. Maybe it's going to work.
It's
now.
blaring in the living
Yes.
room. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Whoosh, whoosh.
All right, here
The
we
little
go.
iPod case is bouncing from all the bass response.
There it is.
Ah,
I did that all by myself.
that
I'm so
Mike, that
happy.
was awesome.
Last year, Jay Leno, he fell down a hill, hit his
Mike,
head on a rock,
This is not sensitive when you say it that way.
and
Would you
suffered
like to
a broken
please?
wrist and severe bruising to his face and his body.
Because he
His
didn't
eye
want to
even-
walk down the road, Mike.
His eye even swelled shut, and yet he did a show before seeking medical treatment because he's Jay. That's
I
pretty-
don't spend my Tonight Show money.
Wasn't the rumor that he didn't pay his bookie?
I didn't.
I
Yeah, that he
think there
got
was
beat.
that.
Wasn't that the
Yeah.
story?
Yeah.
That's pretty typical. Not doing a show for Jay. He says, "quote I had a show to do. I mean, you have an audience waiting there. What are you gonna say? Excuse me? Oh, I banged my head." It's his whole demeanor.
There'll be
As-
a little extra something in your envelope this week.
there'll be a little something extra in your envelope. And Jay Leno, as for how he got through the show, Leno says, "Man, I see it all the time. I see guys coughing, and they go on stage for an hour, so they don't cough."
Well, Mike, it's easy to do 45 minutes when they're the same jokes you've been telling for 10 years. It's
Something
easy.
happens. Something just changes. For me, it's the same thing, too. If I'm in any sort of pain, I just do the show and it goes away. That is the humble brag from Jay Leno. That
Yeah.
is,
Yes.
as
He did the
David
same
Lettman would
spin.
say, vintage Jay. That
He
is
did-
vintage Jay.
He did the same spin when he burned his face off with the car,
Right.
remember? Yeah, well, it happened.
I'm a super brave guy.
Yeah.
He's been pretty accident prone
What
in
I
recent
do
years.
is wear a denim shirt and a denim pair of pants.
Let's see. Been accident prone in recent years, breaking several bones in a motorcycle accident, lighting himself on fire
It's not what you want to be
It
known
is-
for.
in his garage, but he shrugs it off too. Here's the last quote.
Yeah.
People get banged up in real jobs all the time. Real jobs. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great? I mean, I don't wish death on anyone, but someday they're going to have to write Jay Leno's obituary and the injuries. What if they took precedence over the fact that he hosted the Tonight Show?
The injuries are multifold. Do you have any interest in the beefs on the White Lotus?
Like cast beef?
Well, I know the Teeth Lady and Goggins have issues with each other.
Really?
So apparently, Jason Isaacs, who played the rich dad who was trying to commit suicide,
Bad
and Walton
accident.
Goggins, apparently they have been in a feud, but it's not true. They ran into each other on a flight, and then they posted a picture that say, hey, all you genius online sleuths, see any beef? And they're smiling, and it looks fine.
What's your beef, Jay?
Right?
Now-
Did he then try to murder him?
No.
The most notorious issue, allegedly, is between Goggins and this lady right here, Amy Lou Wood. She played his love interest. The jury's still out about that. In a recent interview that was supposed to be about his next project, Goggins was asked about his issues with her. He said, quote, I'm not going to have that conversation. Oh, when you do that, you're basically opening up a can of worms.
Yeah, you are.
After Goggins, two publicists also intervened. The interview continued, but the writer tried to bring it up again, and Goggins told him, quote, there is no conversation to be had about that. What the F? Come on, buddy. Wow. And then the interview just ended.
He should have gone the Belichick route and have his girlfriend stop the interview.
We're not going to talk about that. Once you try to manipulate that,
You
it makes
can't
it
control
worse.
your narrative. You cannot do it.
How about
And
just lying and saying, no, there is no beef?
Right.
I think that this is all too much. I think that people make too much about her teeth. I think she's lovely. And the role that she was going to do in the Walter Goggins movie was a smaller role. Walton Goggins is she was at a meal and she was going to chew up mashed potatoes and spit them through her teeth.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. You get to see him work live, Josh. What's that like?
Well, I get to see all the sharp objects
There you
and
go.
everything
He's-
around here.
Yes, true.
surrounding himself. Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock are reuniting. They will co-star in a romantic thriller. It doesn't have a title yet, but it's described as a propulsive project. What, like Speed 3? Is that what they're promoting? Is that what it's going to be?
How can you make Speed 3 because after Speed 2 and Tim Conway is passed? You can't make this movie.
Was he in Speed 2?
Yes,
Or it
he
could be a
was.
remake of The Net.
That'd be good too.
So they don't mention whether it is Speed or not. Keanu and Sandra's first movie together was in '94, Speed. Keanu didn't return for Speed 2, but Sandra did, and they were united for a great movie. I love The Lake House. The Lake House in 2006. I hope it's not Speed. I hope it's a cool movie for them because I think they're good together, and I think they're still good. They're still good
Well,
together.
Keanu has got such a great sense of humor about himself.
Yes, and he's a great guy.
I would love to see that sort of featured and not make him a Tom Cruise style hero.
Yeah.
Let him be funny. Because they'd
We
be
don't need a
charming
Speed
couple.
3. We
Yeah.
need just a good romantic comedy
Yeah,
with
I
those
agree.
two, or a romantic vehicle of some kind. I think we can do that. Lady Gaga played for 2.5 million people. Live for 2.5 million people during a free concert at Copacabana Beach in Rio on Saturday. That broke the record for the highest attended concert by a female artist in history. That was held by Madonna. Her record is the one that was broken. She played for 1.6 million people on the same beach just about 1 year ago.
Wow.
So that's pretty amazing.
And I know the Rolling Stones have played that beach too. It's crazy. It's like when they did concerts in Central Park.
I
You know?
believe that even with the name Lady Gaga, she has always fancied herself as wanting to be royalty. Listen
Sure.
to this because
I'd
this
say
is
let
such
her
a
do it.
royalty type quote here. In a message posted yesterday, Gaga said, quote, "Thank you, Rio, for waiting for me to come back. Thank you, little monsters all over the world. I love you. I will never forget this moment. Pause up, little monsters. Obrigada. Love, Mother Monster."
I love her. I think
know
she
you
is so talented and
Right.
good for her. And you know what? That whole monster thing is giving some people that were probably feeling left out in their lives a community. I think it's awesome. You
Well,
know,
the show went off without a hitch despite an attempted attack by an anti-LGBTQ group. God, what kind of people would do that? That tried to recruit teenagers to bomb the show with Molotov cocktails and improvised explosives. That's pretty horrible. Brazilian police raided the homes of 15 suspects in several states across the nation. 2 people were arrested, including the group's leader. Gaga's rep said they only heard about the plot after the show, and there were, quote, no known safety concerns or any communication from the police or authorities to Lady Gaga regarding any potential risk. I'm going to look for a viral video of that concert with 2.5 million. That must
look for the Brazilian
something.
police. They're amazing. Brazilian police are totally hairless.
no, they're all waxed. Thank you.
are. That's how they do it down there.
Finally, today we are going to share with you a little video. When you're driving on a major interstate and you miss your exit, do you A, keep driving and get off at the next one, or B, come to a complete stop on the road, cause a crash, and then drive away? The Ohio Department of Transportation posted a video from last week. And, of course, it's a red van.
Yes.
Coming to a complete stop. Let's roll this right now.
Right.
This is where it happened. And that's the exit to the right you will see.
Cincinnati and Dayton, yeah.
Where the red van wants to go. And you will see the red van really almost could have gone to the right and gotten into that little triangle. There's the red van.
Doomed.
Stopping.
Just doomed from the word go.
Stops dead.
And then
Stops,
puts on a turn signal.
and then stops, and here it comes, and boom!
Oh, my God.
And now watch. I caused it. I'm going to get off at my exit and leave now. There I go.
That's one way to stop all the traffic so you can take your exit.
That's right.
And then they
So-
still haven't found the driver. The driver still hasn't been identified. Police are trying to figure out who they are so they can be cited and charged. People, there you go. Fantastic.
God.
Yeah. Yantas
Horrible.
Usalas. That's it. We got to take a
Oh,
break.
it's time to do the break thing. I was lost in your video. I'm sorry.
It was amazing. I mean, just stupidity. I've seen it. I've seen people when they come to a complete
Minivans,
stop.
Jack.
Right. I want to know the person. I want to know their demographic. I want to know who to blame because I'm Irish, and that's how we roll, ladies and gentlemen. That is how we roll, people.
I think it was the guy with the trombone.
Yes.
From the Jimmy's.
We'll come back with Josh and Rob at the old ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the problem with body care stuff. It's boring.
Yes.
It's a big pile of yawn. Men's products need more variety. That's why I love Cremo. Used it this morning right out of the shower. You deserve freedom from sweat and stink. Cremo's deodorant is designed to provide men with 48-hour odor protection. Cremo products are all barber grade and made with pride, professionalism, and passion to guarantee you quality without compromise. Elevate your deodorant experience with Cremo's two latest signature scents, Italian Bergamot, and that's the bright fresh one,
Yeah, I
and
like it.
Robust, while Palo Santo is deep, smoky, and refined. Both are great. Remember, deodorant isn't just for smelling good. God, I love this stuff. I really do. The scent you choose sets the tone of how you present yourself. And I've never done this during a commercial. Oh, my God, that's good. I like that. Cremo helps men make an unforgettable impression every time. I love this stuff. I wish you could smell me right now. Turn some heads with your manly aroma. Every time I walk into a room, all the women...
What?
You wrote this.
No,
Every
this
time
is-
I walk into a room, all the women... No, you did. All the women try to get all up in my business.
I saw it at Jimmy's.
And I heard you say it at Jimmy's. Why are
Because
these
I
women
smell
trying to
so
get
good.
all up in my business?
Sure. Head to Target or Target.com to find Cremo's new line of antiperspirants and deodorants in the Italian Bergamot and Palo Santo scents. Once again, Target or Target.com. Okay, you
Yes,
guys
please
went
do.
to the big ball game.
We did.
You posted like for a second, but I didn't really get a feel for what really went down. How did Rob enjoy the ball game, Josh?
Well, he now understands the game of baseball.
I understood it a little bit when I went in. It was my first game since they invented and brought in the I was going to say shot clock, pitch clock. So I was fascinated with that. I had never watched that before.
Rob informed me this was his second time at Camden Yards,
Okay.
but the first time was for a concert.
No,
Okay.
you see, no, I've been there several times. I know Mike and I have been to a Red Sox
Okay.
game at Camden Yards.
All right.
But
Okay.
My
All right.
most recent attendance
Most recent.
was going to visit my friend Paul, who was down there. I was on the field for that.
But we had a
Paul
great time.
McCartney.
yes.
yes.
Oh, don't name drop. It's
Sorry about
classless.
We had a great time. I think Rob was fascinated by Mr. Splash.
I was. Now, Mr. Splash is a new mascot of sorts, although I don't know that I want to give him mascot status.
He's a mascot,
Josh,
unfortunately.
explain what he does. And this,
I've never heard of this, Mr.
you need to
Splash.
think of Mr. Splash on a afternoon game in July when it's 95 degrees.
Okay.
But
Right.
also think of Mr. Splash yesterday when it's cloudy and 64.
Yeah, and yesterday was cloudy, 60s, and chance of rain the entire day.
Yeah, dark.
Yeah, it got crappy on Sunday.
And I'll have to pull up a photo of Mr. Splash. But Mr. Splash is a guy, he wears goggles and a snorkel and I think he's got some orange, like, floaty armbands.
Oh, well, you have to be careful.
A Mr. Splash Orioles jersey, and then a pink tube around his waist, like a pink flamingo.
Yeah.
What does
like
he
a kid.
dive into?
So nothing.
That's the thing,
Here's what
Mike.
he does.
Not dive into anything.
He stands outside of this section out in the outfield next
Yeah.
to the bullpens.
Yeah.
And when the Orioles do something good, he sprays all the fans with a hose.
And Mike, you would think it would be like some sort of gimmicky hose, like maybe like a fire hose
No.
with a beautiful big presentation. It's a garden hose with a squeeze thing. The gun, the white,
Mr. Splash,
metal-
has this replaced the Baltimore Bird?
No, the bird is there too.
Okay,
No.
all right.
This
that's
is
good.
the second one. This is a because the Orioles have their home run beer bong thing. This is how their way to get the fans involved.
Yeah.
Very clever, boys.
And
Very clever. Mr. Splash. Hey, we're going to ballpark see Mr. Splash.
I don't know if you have any seats down the third base line, but I need them if I want to get wet by Mr.
Shea, sorry I didn't get to talk to you longer. Thank you for bringing the Old
There he
Bay.
is.
There's Mr. Splash. Thanks for bringing the Old Bay goldfish. That was a delight. Can we see him again? Can we see him again, please?
Yeah,
There he is.
See, Mike.
Snorkel, armbands, and pink flamingo.
And
That's
so yesterday, if
wonderful.
you had got hit by water while you're sitting in your seat, that's not what you want.
No.
It
Not in
was
64-degree weather. No,
But
thank
the
you.
game had, I think, 10 home runs, and many of them were Orioles home runs, and every one of
few.
them got the splash.
Did
And
the
I'm like,
Orioles win or lose?
they came in second.
Yeah.
Oh, so do the Red Sox.
I think it was
so
like
you're okay
5
with
to
that.
12 or something.
Yeah,
It
well,
wasn't-
they you know what? They were in it through the seventh. It was not
Yes.
a
So it was a
done
Jack
deal.
Fest. They really that doesn't sound
was-
right. Yeah,
Yes.
that's interesting.
That's Mr. Splash.
Mr. Splash.
Yes, it was a Jack Fest.
There you go.
And really until my brother left.
Yeah, yeah.
And then everything went downhill.
And we had a couple listeners there, which was great. It was just fun to watch the ball
Did you
game.
meet Josh's bro?
Yeah, well, Mike, I don't know if you knew about this through.
Yeah,
the-
he came in on the show when
and
when I was
he
gone.
determined after the show that he was my friend, and so we're friends now, which is good. And he was seated right in front of me, and that's his son, Silas.
Yeah, that's his son.
And they were great to see a dad and a kid at a ball game. It was so much fun. But what's even more fun than that is no matter how old they get, Josh and Matt are brothers. They are always brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Josh leans over to me, and Josh is a great person to sit
Josh!
with at a baseball game. I had so much fun. I tried not to be too Rob
Well,
like to
we
ruin
had a
it.
great time.
Yeah. But he leans into me and he says, watch this. I'm going to show you why my brother is so annoying.
Well,
that I love.
well, is this about his travel plans?
Yes, that's when you brought it up.
Because we brought up my frustration with his travel plans on the show a few weeks ago when he
said-
filled in.
Actually, I need to requote what Josh said. He said, I'm going to tell you, watch this. I'm going to show you how annoying my brother is and how cheap he is.
Well, that was so. What I went up Friday night for the game,
Yeah.
and when I left Herndon to drive up Friday night, right when I got in the car, I got a text from my brother saying, "Just arrived at the Atlanta airport. See you there."
Now,
So-
his brother booked this travel. This
Yeah.
is not like an unwitting agent getting mixed up.
So
And your brother's planning to go to the game with you Friday night.
Friday night.
yes.
Okay,
So-
and he's in Atlanta.
and here's how he is. He is so cheap that he flies to BWI, takes the light rail to Camden Yards to then walk to his hotel.
So he doesn't
drop
have to
off the
rent a
bags,
car
and then
Yeah.
walk back. So I think
or
Friday,
get an Uber.
Right.
Yeah.
Friday night he did manage to get in there by the end of the second inning,
That's pretty good.
which was pretty good.
And you know what?
Now-
I admire the fact that he was that light rail might as well be like a trip to Mars.
Right.
I don't understand it. I love that someone can use the mass transit. He did great by doing that.
So Sunday we're at the game, and I just ask him, "So what time's your flight tonight?" It's a 1:35 start time on the game,
right.
and his flight is 6 p.m. So
He's cutting it a little close.
I'm doing the math and thinking, so when did they leave? The fifth inning?
I think so, but not before you challenged him
Well-
and said, "Why do you do that?"
Yes.
And Matt says, "There's nothing cooler than walking up to your gate while they're boarding."
Yes, that's what he said.
I mean,
That's
and
the
he
perfect
looked like it
timing.
was so. He said,
Now,
I
is
mean,
he
like that's
doing
like getting
is he doing these for the money factor that this is the cheapest flight?
He
that
is
can
very
get?
cheap.
I think it's a combination of the money factor and its stubbornness to be like, I know better than everyone else.
All right, because it's really he must be all right. This is all I can tell you. He must be somewhat of an unflappable customer if he
Well,
puts himself
you'd
through
think
that
that.
level of stress travel.
You'd
Yes.
think that until the end of this tale, where he proves to be quite
Well-
flappable.
Well,
Okay.
all right, so
All right.
he leaves the 5th inning, and Silas is 7 years old. So he's
Great,
making
such a nice kid.
he's a great kid, but he's making this little kid walk to the hotel now to get their bags,
Yeah.
walk back to the light rail, go through all this stress because of how he handles planning and scheduling.
And also, Silas had himself a kid-sized drink that he was spilling everywhere. By the time he'd get back to the stands, the little cup would be like 1/3 full because it's all sloshing out.
I believe
All right.
when they left, Rob said, "Nice to meet you, Silas," and Silas just dumped over his cup to say bye.
Bye, Silas. Now, what did you do to make your brother flappable? What was that?
Well, here's what happens. So he leaves the 5th inning. They walk to their hotel to get their bags, go to the light rail, go to BWI, whatever. So
He's allowed almost an hour for all
right.
of this.
So I think it's the 9th inning, and I text and I just say, "How's the light rail?"
Yeah.
And the only text I get back is, "Don't ask."
Oh, yes.
They had announced on the news light rail issues on the way up to the game, but they weren't in the direction Matt was going, so we didn't think it was going to be a
So
problem.
I found out later that what happened is the light rail came up to the station,
Yeah.
and it said BWI on the side, and right when it gets to the station, it said out of service and shut down.
No.
So the game ends, and Rob and I are leaving, and we're walking out. So I text my brother again. "Do you need a ride?"
Yeah, and you had already texted, you had offered it and
I
already
offered,
texted
and he
it.
already said no.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Right. So
Don't
then
want it.
I texted again and offered again, and the response I get is, "I'll meet you at the parking lot."
So he took the ride?
He took the ride.
So
Oh, God.
when
Yeah,
I
that's
said
advantage Josh on that one.
Carrie and I get to our car, and I take out my phone because I'm going to plug it in, and I see I got a text, and it's Josh, and he says, "Guess who needed a ride?" And he posted a blurry picture of Silas and Matt crossing the street, getting to his car.
dragging their luggage.
Look at the joy.
Yes.
That's the type of thing
No.
that gets him going.
It was so funny
Right.
because they're such brothers. I could see that happening when they were 7 and 9 years old.
And then on
Right.
the way to BWI, he gets a little text message that his plane is delayed until 7 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Well,
Wow.
as we
Then
all
it-
were that
right.
day. Yep.
It then at least took when the plane was delayed, that at least removed the stress from Silas,
I have
Right.
to.
which I was happy about.
I hope it didn't ruin his fantasy of walking up to a boarding plane.
No, I then got
Did he ask you to drive in circles in the kiss and ride so he didn't have to get out yet?
So he could be at the last minute again.
Yes.
no. I asked. I said, "Do you want to go get dinner with me? I'm going over here, or do you want me to drop you off?" He said, "Drop off."
I think it's funny because when the limited time I spent with Silas, he didn't seem like a stressed kid. But a good dad can make any kid crumble under stress.
There was a nice argument between Silas and Matt about fitting the bobbleheads into their backpacks because it was a bobblehead giveaway night.
Mike, I
Who was the
forgot.
player? Who was the player?
It was Gunnar Henderson
Gunnar Henderson, and he was dressed as a Jedi.
because it was May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you. Yeah. And then at one point,
Exciting. Yes.
Josh, I mean, he wasn't even bitter about the Orioles yet. And he's sitting there and he just says, "I hate Star Wars."
I do. I hate it.
So do I, Josh. We're on the same page with that one. Absolutely.
But you know what? I had a great time with my friends, the Sroka brothers.
Yes.
And I think I wasn't too annoying to Josh.
and
so
how
it's a win.
you haven't mentioned your wife once.
She enjoyed herself, but she was also trying to stay ahead of the game on gambling. And the only bet she won is the one I told her to make. And yes, I will relish that. But she was losing
What was
dollars
the
and
bet you
$2.
told her to make?
I said take the over on total runs scored because the Orioles, Josh says, has bad pitching, so they're going to give up a lot of runs. And so the over was 10.5. The line was 10.5, and we took the over. So it's
There,
good.
see, there you go. Fantastic. I wish I'd done something with my betting over the weekend.
Yeah.
Thanks, Final Gambit. Yeah.
All
there you
mine
go.
were losses as well.
Yes,
We'll
they
take a
were.
break. You got some beautiful video for
Mike,
us,
I
Mr.
have got
Spiewak?
video that is so gorgeous, and I don't know how this happens. It's a little Florida-centric today. I hope you don't mind.
That's good. We usually have a lot of material down here, and I will tell you something regarding the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
That was my horse, Final Gambit, and finished fourth out of the money.
Because
Hallelujah.
cheaters.
Cheaters. Are you like Rob? he's got this beard, and he wants to cover the gray up, but home hair dye kits are a mess, and the salon is a hassle, so he keeps it simple. Simpler Hair Color has a full variety of shades to match any guy's hair and beard. With Simpler Hair Color, there's no need to buy a separate hair, beard, and touch-up product. A single can has you covered for all of them. Plus, one can of Simpler Hair Color provides as many uses as up to 4 boxes of the drugstore stuff.
This is not on the script, but if you're just doing a part of your beard as I am, it has a lot more than 4 applications.
That's
you
awesome.
can go all week with it. It's great. I love it. So
I'd try it because look at Santa.
well, didn't you order the?
I have it.
You
It's in my bathroom.
No,
may
I
try
thought
it
you got
this
the
week.
Simpler Hair Santa Claus.
Ho, ho, ho.
No, they don't offer white hair, folks. I'm sorry.
Simpler Hair Color offers a gentler ingredient and a cleaner application, and unlike other companies, there is no waste.
Right.
That's why their mission is to become the #1 men's hair and beard dyeing brand. Plus, Simpler Hair Color offers free shipping and free returns, so you can try Simpler Hair Color risk-free. By the way, the new look of Rob is the talk of the town.
It is.
Everyone at our Kentucky Derby party loved staring at this handsome chap lip with a youthful beard. All the men and ladies alike
You think you're pretty clever, don't you?
were gobsmacked.
That's right.
Thank you, Simpler Hair Color. Say goodbye to grays the easy way with Simpler Hair Color. Head to simplerhaircolor.com/TMOS and use the TMOS code for 10% off your order. Once again, that's simplerhaircolor.com/TMOS for 10% off, and make sure you use the promo code TMOS so they know that we sent you, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I like that. Some beautiful video.
Mike, memory lane. I always like that. Mike, Florida. It's where you live. Florida, it's where Josh lives.
Yes.
Florida, it's where men take their clothes off.
Developing story out of Flagler County tonight. A man is
Oh,
arrested
that's near
after
me.
trying to break into someone's house. John Brown's joining us live in studio tonight. So, John, this man had a unique outfit for
Look
this
at
alleged
him.
burglary.
Or the lack thereof, right, Marley? So this man put in handcuffs wearing nothing but his birthday suit. This is 63-year-old Matthew Hunter of Palm Coast.
This
Now,
guy.
according to the arrest report and this video, a woman saw Hunter outside of her home, completely naked, trying to break into the house. The woman called 911 after she heard what appeared to be a knife trying to cut through the lock of her storm door.
That was not a knife. I really feel bad about anyone who gets handcuffed ever. I've been handcuffed. It's no fun. I cannot imagine being handcuffed naked because all you want to do is cover things up, and you can't.
I'm looking at the mug, and the mug shot looks not alcohol. It
No,
doesn't
I
look
think it's just a-
alcoholic.
I think
it
it's a
looks
crack
like
pot, yeah.
It may be a nut, maybe
Yeah.
a nut or other drugs, but not necessarily booze.
To
You
me,
never
it
know.
looks like a Star Trek fan.
Excuse me, excuse me. Can I come in, please?
I'm
Thank you.
surprised it didn't go in your news, and I guess it's because it was a couple days ago. We lost Ruth Buzzy over the weekend, who was a staple on television for many, many years. Of course, she did The Lost Saucer with Jim Nabors.
Of course.
But Laugh In, and I know Josh has never probably seen a minute of it, but Laugh In was a really great show, and this is my favorite joke from all 6 seasons of Laugh In, and it features Artie Johnson as the old man and Ruth Buzzy as Gladys,
All right,
the old lady
let
on
me
the
set
bench.
it up before you. A little
Okay.
more.
All right.
This bit, Josh, is, and it's great because I like to play to you because you've never seen it.
Yeah.
No idea.
Artie Johnson was the dirty old man, and he makes suggestive, lewd comments to the old woman
Gladys,
who carries a purse and hits him with the purse.
Yes.
That's the bit.
Okay.
And so the thing that makes the bit funny, the voice that Artie Johnson uses,
Yes.
which is this kind of dirty voice like this, and the reaction from Ruth Buzzy. That's the bit, and it's timelessly
It's simple,
funny in my
and
humble
it's
opinion.
funny. And Mike, just so you know, the character that Artie Johnson played, you think they didn't know what they were doing? His name was Tyrone F. Horney, which is Horneigh. They can't say horny.
Only you would know that.
But
No
they
one
can say
in the
horny.
world would know that fact.
All right, my favorite joke in the history of Laugh In.
Okay.
Could I have a serious moment with you, please? No. I just want to ask a question. Do you believe in the hereafter?
Of course I do.
Then you know what I'm here after.
I love it. I might be a simpleton, but I love it.
You are a dullard. You are indeed a dullard. The greatest, with the amount of comedy given us on Laughing, and
Well,
that's
I mean,
the one
it's
you
hard
picked.
it's hard to choose one moment. I just
Right.
love that's
What a
great,
tribute, though, to Buzzy. That's wonderful.
I
Thank
love
you.
Buzzy. Mike, Dolly Parton is doing okay without Carl, her husband.
Yeah, he passed a while back.
Passed away, and they were married for like 50 billion years.
Yes.
And she's doing okay. They asked her about it on the Today Show. She is staying focused on her work and maybe getting her teeth tightened up. I don't know.
I mean, you're just such a light, Dolly, and we were so sad to
Savannah.
hear about the loss of Carl, your beloved Carl, your husband of more than 58 years. I always love over the years how you talk about him. I mean, you guys were such a partnership. Look at you two cuties. How you doing? I'm sure you miss him a lot.
Savannah's voice.
Yeah, really.
Oh, you know what? I get very emotional when people bring it up. But yeah, we were together 60 years. I've loved him since I was 18 years old. And it's a big adjustment, just trying to change patterns and habits. And I'll do fine. And I'm very involved in my work. And that's been the best thing that could happen to me. But I'll always miss him, of course.
She'll always miss him.
Oh, stop it. You're a monster. You're
That's the whole point of that clip.
You're
It
more
was.
reverent toward Ruth Buzzy than a star that everybody knows.
Mike, be reverent when they pass. While they're alive, play into it. Be a lover. I am a Parton lover. How about that?
You know, for the lady of that age, I mean, I know there's a
Stunning.
lot going on, but wow, just the wig and the makeup still manages to. That's amazing. You would never look at that woman and say that woman's 80 years old.
No,
You would never
not
do
until
that.
she took her teeth out.
Okay, that's fine.
I have a video of Josh at the game yesterday.
Okay.
I don't know why he had a little girl with him, but dads can do anything.
What? He's going to catch the ball. She covers his eyes.
How about that?
And he still caught it.
Wow,
Dad power right there.
That's dad power. Right
That is
there.
dad power, and I could really make a sexist comment on that right now.
Don't.
Yeah, it's daughter power as well.
It's daughter power when it's my mom standing in front of the TV at the third strike. I mean,
the timing.
It is.
They've got
I'll
it.
shut up.
And
because
also-
Carla would be so pissed if she.
No,
heard me
it's
doing
fine.
this.
You know, at that Yankees game, Jimmy also talked over a home run call. All right, Mike, I know that you're in a house that you love and you're staying there. I'm never going to move again because I don't want to pack my stuff up. Josh seems very happy in St. Augustine. But if you do get involved in the real estate game, Mike, don't do it like this guy.
Okay.
That's right, Dave and Frank. Several realtors are sharing this very similar story of a man inappropriately touching their leg or foot while they are working. And the earliest as far back as July in Pinellas County and as recently
thinking maybe
as
he
last
doesn't need a
week
house.
during another showing in Manatee County.
The big house.
That time, he, pointed down at my feet and was like, "Oh, you have an ant on your shoe." And I was like, "Where?" And I'm frantic trying to get the ant off my shoe. And I'm like, "Where?" And he's like, "Right there, right there."
Real estate agent Angela Julian didn't realize that was just a trick.
He
That's
bends
just a
down and
trick.
he starts unbuckling my shoe and caressing my foot. And I just thought that was really weird. At the same time, he's fidgeting with his phone, petting my foot, fidgeting phone. And I think he's trying to take some type of a video of my skirt. It was really alarming.
At
It was
first
alarming.
unaware of the violation, now at least more than a half dozen women coming forward to share stories
Half dozen
of
of
their
them.
encounter
Yeah.
with the strange man.
That's
left them
12
feeling
feet.
vulnerable.
Very vulnerable. Instantly, you can sense that something's not quite right, but you can't really put your finger on it.
You
Call
know
me
what the
crazy. The first thing I notice about that lady is certainly not her feet.
Me too. Me too. You would like to have seen a close-up, wouldn't you? I think
You didn't
the-
need to add to it. You really didn't need to
I
add
think
to
the
it.
most
You had
amazing
to, but you
thing-
didn't need to.
Well,
There
it was
you
the
go.
chapped lips.
Yes.
Oh, you're just swinging blind now. the sad thing or the amazing thing about that story is even though he took the time to touch 6 different people, he still made it to our appearance, and it was great to see Jim Amato.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate that.
Jim down in Florida just looking for a house.
I think it's time to get that terrible ant off your foot. Let
Look,
me
there's an
unbuckle
ant
your
on your
shoe.
foot.
That's fantastic. How are you? Nice to see you. Let me sit down right here. There you go. How's it going?
Anyway, we got to get out of here. Thank you all for coming out to Jimmy's, and thank you, Jimmy Cerrito, my dear friend, and
Jimmy is the greatest.
His wonderful, long-suffering wife, Maureen, who was wonderful. They were so good, and it was great seeing their daughter.
I loved
and
the video.
What a wonderful, comfortable weekend we had at their home.
I love the video of you washing dishes. You're a man of your word.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be a good house guest. If, somebody's
You
nice
wash
enough to
dishes.
let you stay in their place and feed you in the morning, least you can do is get over to the sink in their beautiful kitchen and wash the dishes.
Jay Leno hasn't washed a dish in 50 years.
Well, I've been bruised. That's it. We got to get out of here. For Josh Shiroka and Rob Spiewak, Michael Mara saying so long, everybody.
Yeah, me too. Bye and all that.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Cotton nail bath tissue.
Sabrina, don't just stare at it, eat it.
You lost again.